You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good day, good evening. Hello, you, me, together again. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I get excited. It's Monday Night Live, baby. This is the time for us to get together, to learn together, to grow together, to impact together. You know, if you're healthy and strong and vibrant and mighty, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be the best in your industry. You're going to be attractive to your future mate. You're going to be a creative genius to help problem solve your family's situations day in and day out. But it's your life, your health, your choice. And I like to just keep that in perspective because you can have a glass half empty kind of mentality, fear-based mentality, or you can have a jovial, outgoing, my God owns cattle on 1,000 hills mentality, make a confession of faith, a bold declaration that you're blessed going in, that you're blessed going out, that you're blessed in the city, that you're blessed in the field, that nothing your hands touch won't prosper, but will be blessed and radiate goodness and grace and shine for Jesus day in and day out. I get excited when I get to, share message with my friends, family, loved ones. And so every Monday I come to you guys live. I share messages of hope. I teach people how to live better, be better, stay better, taking some adaptogen. It's been one of those days, a good day. But, at the end of the day, you want to kind of start settling in to the evening and getting things set ready. And then a little bit of acetyl CH. Could be ribonucleic acid. But at the end of the day, this is where we start. And I don't have any water. Hang on. Oh, that's going to be tricky. So I want you to know that was not easy. I literally just swallowed 4 capsules with no water. I don't actually do that very often, but maybe I should practice. But why do I take vitamins, guys? Because vitamins at the end of the day, I have worked my tushy off today. I've trained this morning and my body's ready to start unwinding. So I'm actually giving the body the tools and resources to shift gears into that next phase that I need to go into, which is my parasympathetic rest and digest phase of life, where my body starts coming down, and chill factor comes in and I get to get ready for night time. But not yet. I still need that brain firing so we can teach this class. So tonight we are talking about how your gut health reflects your skin's health. And so I really just excited to share with you. I talked about it for the last several weeks. The gut heals it all. The gut is where it starts. If you get the gut health right, you get a lot of things right. If you don't know where to start, take care of your digestive tract. It's literally that simple. And so I detox the gut. I have 5-day programs, 7-day programs, 21-day programs. We build parasite programs. We do all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you're staying tuned to the teachings so that you'll learn. But whenever it comes to being a wellness advocate, a wellness authority in your life, drchopwellness.com, baby, I got you covered. So your skin is an absolute critical piece of your immune system. It's a critical piece of your detox pathways. It's a critical piece of your radiant beauty. And, I always like to tell my kids, when we're talking about the gut-brain axis, when we're talking about the gut-skin axis, what's more important, beauty or brains? And the answer, brains. But beauty doesn't hurt, right? That's right. So we want to have radiant, jovial, beautiful, plush skin that people go, ooh, man, you look 15 years younger than you are, especially when they find out that you actually are maybe late, 40s or mid 60s or 70s. And you go, dude, you just don't look that your age. How do you do it? And oftentimes the gut health is the key. Liver health is the key. Exercise is the key. Hydrating well is the key. Mineral saturation rates is the key. And so a healthy gut creates radiant skin. So we're really talking about the gut microbiome. When the gut is healthy, your brain is healthy. That's called the gut-brain axis. That's what we covered week 1. And then we got into the gut-liver axis. That is how your body has a connection between gut health and liver health. Essentially, the liver's not dumb and it's not going to dump into an already toxic bowel. So your body is helping you see how you can thrive in a world that isn't necessarily set up for us to thrive well in. Okay, so when we look at the liver is the giver. You take care of the liver, but if it can't dump toxins into an already toxic bowel because you're toxic and built up, and the bog down is already transpiring, it just sits there and it permeates. And then interesting, then we talked about the gut metabolic axis. And the gut metabolic axis is when the gut's destroyed or disruptive, your liver's destroyed or disruptive, then your thyroid backs up. And we live in a culture today where who doesn't have a thyroid problem? When in doubt, we can just, I by the way, run 7 key factors in my standard blood panel, okay, that you can get access to. If you are, a patient of mine, if you follow me, if you're around me enough, I'm going to run a blood test on you and show you how to look at blood panels more effectively, okay? But interestingly enough, we live in a culture where one number on the standard American care, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, is all they care about, and they can determine if you need to be on thyroid meds. That's cray. I even have some people that just base it completely off of symptoms, and they put you on thyroid medications. Come on, guys, you got to do a little bit more scientific work than that. It is not how God designed it. So I really want to just, help you understand that it's your life, your health, your choice, and take care of the gut. You take care of your liver, you take care of your metabolism. And of course, we talked about the lungs last week, the lung gut connection, and allergies and allergens and upper respiratory and sleep apnea, and how all this plays together. Very fascinating. You got to go back and check out this stuff. And now we're talking about your beauty, your skin. And that is why we look at how is the gut involved in all these processes. What shows up on your skin is a mirror image of what is in your digestive tract. And so I want you to really grab hold. What is this gut skin axis I speak of? And you have millions of microvascular tissue blood flow in and around your skin. You have millions, maybe trillions of microorganisms floating around your skin. And if the gut is unhealthy, the skin will be unhealthy. And it is literally that simple. The gut microbiome communicates with your skin through signaling molecules and hormones and immune responses. And you either have radiant, vibrant, beautiful skin, or you don't. Your gut, most people don't realize, but when their gut is inflamed, you'll see it. I mean, it shows up in the form of acne or a rash. I remember in the past when my gut was, irritated because I didn't truly understand, some of the inflammatory hidden foods, stealth foods that I try to help people find out about. Chocolate. Oh my gosh, who doesn't love a little bit of chocolate? So once a week, I'd go have a little chocolate cake, and I would cheat. And this was many years ago, but literally forehead breakout next morning and 2 days later. Are you kidding me? There was like a scarlet letter. Dr. Chapa's been cheating. Look at that acne breakout on his face. Now, when I have an acne breakout on my face, which I've had a couple over the last, this year, especially in the eyebrow and this left eye, it's parasite. Every time I do a parasite cleanse, it flares up, and it hasn't the last month or the month before, but like 2 or 3 months in a row, cleansing the tissues. The body began to push toxin that was built up in a biofilm, a pocket of trash, waste, and debris, out. It finally said, you know what? I'm not going to let that sit in that body anymore. Thank God it's right next to my eye. Thank God it's, on my face. Nobody wants that. I had this one patient, she was pregnant, and talk about the hormone signaling molecules. She got pregnant, and she literally got the most ginormous skin tag literally right between her eyebrows. She was like mortified, and no word of a lie, 6 months after her pregnancy, it just fell right off. Hormones are a funny thing. And so she was very deficient in nutrients, minerals specifically, going through the pregnancy, and her body couldn't detox. You see, for every toxin that you've been exposed to, that's airborne toxins, that's waterborne toxins, that's food-based toxins, that's the mildew in your shower. I mean, wherever it's coming from, right? Your body has to manage these exposures. And if you do not have a good, rich mineral base, you're going to detox slowly, and that stuff is going to start to accumulate in your body, typically stored in the brain, in the joints, or in fat cells. That's why people can't remember why they walk into a room. That's why I take, brain food. Fat cells swell up 7 times the size of normal. That's why people can't lose weight. And joint pain, because, who doesn't have arthritis today or some sort of ache and pain? Well, you all know I call arthritis what? Arthrongus, because there's nothing rightus about it. So, man, you definitely have to recognize that if you have symptom patterns on your skin, it's because your gut signaling molecules, hormones, and immune messengers are dysfunctional and flying out of sync and balance. And we've got to get that system back online. And when those root issues begin to be removed out of your body, your skin will thrive. But that's just a mirror image of your vibrant, wonderful health. I want you to have a vibrant, wonderful attitude. I want you to feel like, you got this. And it's nothing like going in and being confident whenever you are, getting ready for a big presentation, getting ready for a speech like this, getting ready for a date, all the things that, beautiful, wonderful sleep. The mechanisms behind it all. If the gut is dysfunctional, that's the microbiome. Remember, we talked about the network of microbiology inside your digestive tract. If those imbalances are there, you're going to see manifestation of symptom patterns that you were not genetically born with begin to make manifest somewhere. So it could be liver, thyroid, it could be skin, it could be lungs, it could be immunity, it could be a numerous amount of symptom outputs. But today we're really diving into this when the gut is leaky and food particles that you are looking to nourish you begin to poison you because they sneak across the blood-brain, the gut barrier membrane undigested. Now it becomes an inflammatory, nutritive agent, but now something that's inflammatory to your blood. And that's essentially what leaky gut is. The gut lining is permeable. So it leads to systemic inflammation. It leads to skin barrier dysfunction. And you start to see the body having to rob Peter to pay Paul, and the skin begins to deteriorate and become more imbalanced. And it starts in the gut, right? So the systemic inflammation that people are walking around with day in and day out, whether it's swelling in the ankles, swelling in the face, whether it's acne breakouts, pimples, whether that is, when I have things erupt, little boils, and when that happens, it happens to us all, by the way, even me. I'm not perfect, and my body's not perfect. This is a degenerating earth suit. But the more we take care of it, and remember, every month you're exposed to stuff. So people say, you detox too much, Dr. Chapa. Really? You're being exposed to, candy bars. You're being exposed to sodas. You're being exposed to fast food. You're being exposed to, junk day in, processed living day in and day out. Plus you're drinking and bathing in dirty water. And then you're, consuming toxic air, especially for those of us that are indoors quite a bit of our day. Of course you need to detox a lot. That's why I do what I do, guys. And this is the inflammatory insider inflammation that you need. If you're inflamed, it's detox season, baby. We got to clean you up so we can keep you ahead of the game. So even though I detox a lot and it is a sacrifice, I feel good more often than I don't. And immune crosstalk, man, you want a strong immune system? Take care of the gut. 70-80% of your immune system is in your gut. Gut inflammation triggers your immune system. That trigger goes out throughout the body and can actually cause you to be more hyperactive. So now you're overreacting to inflammatory responses where you should just respond to them. Your body should kick them out. You shouldn't even know it's happening. The immune crosstalk explains why chronic gut imbalances lead to conditions that won't clear up from topical cares alone. You cannot put a topical Band-Aid on something that's an internal problem. And that immune response won't get better either, and you will be constantly plagued with seasonal weather changes if you don't get your immune system in check. And it again starts in the bowel. This is why kids get sick a lot, because they eat a bunch of candy and junk food and processed food. Well, what if you're the kid that doesn't? Maybe your parents are doing what they need to do to take care of your diet. Well, then you have toxic buildup that needs to be pulled out. So we still got to clean you up. What if it's your pet? You still got to clean them up. I mean, especially with the animal, toxic load that they're carrying, and they have millions or 100 times more receptors in their nose, paws, and they are sitting there sucking up all your cleaning agents, your good smelly agents. There's indoors more often than they're not. They become toxic. I remember my moon dog growing up had a tumor on his backside. He didn't have that tumor when he was born. He was fine. He had hemorrhoids. He didn't have hemorrhoids when he was born. He developed those. Anything your body can develop, a weak immune system or a tumor or a hemorrhoid or allergies or acne or psoriasis or eczema, your body can reverse, but you got to do the right thing. So the common skin conditions that people are suffering with, dealing with today: psoriasis, acne, eczema, rosacea, and chronic skin inflammatory issues. When we look at psoriasis, we think liver, liver, liver. Oh, the body can't detox like it's supposed to. When we look at acne, we look at the gut, and the gut microbiome is dysfunctional and suppressed because of sugar overload. When we look at eczema, we look at leaky gut. We look at food sensitivities. When we look at rosacea, we look at microbiome imbalances, inflammation in the spleen, already in the blood, now causing all those little micro tissues to tear down and break down and fall apart. Chronic skin inflammation is often driven by toxins that you can't get rid of and your body's suffering with day in and day out. And so I really want you to grab hold of, it's your life, your health, your choice. You can clean up your skin. I mean, look, do it for your skin. If you eat well and live well and do the functional work that I'm teaching, get your blood test with me every 6 months. Do your variability index building every 9 weeks. Guess what? We're going to boost your metabolism and strengthen you at a deep-rooted level. But if you don't take a look, you're going to miss it. And just like, they said in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you don't stop and take a look around, life moves pretty fast and you could miss it. I don't want you to miss it, guys. I want you to be, dialed in. I want you to be tapped in. I want you to be ready. So how leaky gut affects the skin. Toxins that you should be able to poop out, sweat out, and pee out are now locked up and backing up into your lymph system. And when your lymphatics get slow and sluggish, your body gets infected. That's that immune piece. Well, your immune system says, well, that ain't going to happen. So I'm going to find a secondary exit channel, and it's going to dump it out of your skin. So toxins that you should be able to get rid of through your liver, through your bowel, through your bladder, get backed up into the bloodstream, and they find an exit, because floating around your bloodstream is bad news bear. Floating around in your lymphatics is bad news bear. So the skin becomes a secondary organ for elimination, and you get redness, rashes, breakouts, irritations, aggravations. You're hypersensitive to the pollens and the dust and the ragweeds of the air outside. So healing the gut calms the skin. Beautiful. Well said, Dr. Chapa. I'm so proud of you. You really got this down. Well, yeah, I live it. So of course I have it down. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. I hope I got something understood about this. I might have other areas of my life that need some improvement. Spiritual life can always be growing. But look, the end of the day, I was in my room kind of unwinding the other day, sitting in my chair, and I said, man, I want to listen to some stuff. So I was listening to some biohacking things and how other people in the biohacking world start their day. Man, I'm dialed in, dude. Cold baths, hydrogen tabs, salt, minerals in the morning, amino acids in the morning. I'm like, sheesh, I'm on it. I work out, move, and groove. I'm making sure I'm getting that morning sun. I'm grounding. I'm cold plunging. Man, if there was a works-based guarantee, I should be works-based guarantee. But I'm also a realist, and I understand that I'm in a degenerating earth suit and the body needs repair, recovery, and regeneration. So if I stay on a poor diet, a processed diet, I'm going to get behind schedule because I'm going to feel like garbage. And guess what's going to need to be corrected? I'm going to need to detox all the more. But what if I stop eating garbage food, because these are the root causes of why your body's inflamed at the gut level, causing your skin to erupt? It could be food allergies. It could be wheat, dairy, corn, soy. They always compete. Wheat and dairy up front and center, always and forever. Soy and corn, second, third, and fourth, always. It never has changed. I've been teaching this for 20 years. And for those of you that think you can get away with a good diet and still eat dairy, I'm sorry, you can't. You think you can have that gluten? You can't. It's processed. It's highly chemically adulterated, and we are over consuming it. Even if you got an organic, a personalized milled type, you cannot just live on this stuff. They're crutches. Grains are crutches for famine, not staples for life. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. Get that. There is an essential amino acid, protein. There is an essential fatty acid. And so what's the story? Why are we over consuming? Stress and poor sleep disrupt cortisol. Cortisol irritates the gut lining and starts to break down zonulin, occludin, and actomyosin, and cause your body to have a gut issue just through stress. Stress is absolutely a monster. It will tear you apart. It'll tear you up. It'll wreck your health. You can eat well, you can pray well, but if you're stressed out, anxious all the time, and you're not following your scriptures, remember mine, Philippians 4, 6, and 7, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart, your mind, your soul through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4, 6, and 7. But what if you're anxious? What if you're worried? What if you're not taking captive all those thoughts and you're letting stress kick your butt and keep you up all night? You're not going to heal and repair. You're not going to recover and regenerate. You're not going to detox like you're supposed to, and your body's going to back up. And tomorrow, your skin's going to be inflamed. That's why when you look at yourself in the mirror and go, who that guy? You know what I mean? No, you look yourself in the mirror and say, don't look down when I'm talking to you. Build yourself up. What's your confession of faith? You got to go out and move and groove. You've got to go flush your body with the salts and the lymphatic washes that Dr. Chapa teaches and preaches every day. Then, of course, environmental toxins. Dude, I live around chemical plants. I got Pasadena. I got Deer Park, LaPorte, Baytown, Texas City. It's everywhere. I'm surrounded by chemicals in the air. But that's just an indicator that I might need to environmentally detox more than somebody that lives in the Ozark Mountains or in Alaska, and they're not exposed to the same amount of environmentals. But don't be fooled. You're still being exposed, because I have yet to be to any part in this country and not see where people are getting exposed to environmental chemical compounds. We put all these, sanitizers all over our skin. We have all these, that's a major disruptor of microbiome function in your skin by rubbing lotions and potions and antiseptics on our body or antiseptics in our mouth. And we don't realize that we're putting it in. People are still putting underarm deodorant with aluminum in their under their arms and blocking the sweat. That's the worst thing you can do. Fluoride toothpaste, hair gels, guilty, and hair dyes. Not guilty. See, you got some white somewhere up in there. And I'm going to own it. You know what I mean? Dignified, praise God. So anyway, look, you are having imbalances. Your diet is affecting you. Your stress load is affecting you. Your environment is affecting you. Don't be fooled. You best be participating in the wellness journey. Overuse medications, dehydration, and sluggish toxic pathways. Guys, do you realize how many people rush to the doctor for antibiotics, steroids, or even injections of all kinds for fear of illness or the inconvenience that illness brings, not recognizing that, dude, if you go out and you eat cheesecake tonight, you're going to have sinus crud tomorrow. It's a guarantee. The sugar, the dairy clogs up your I was going to say cornhole, but whatever, cornhole, and your liver. It's going to back up into your lymphatics and it's going to come out your sinuses. The sugar is going to wreck your immune system and you're going to be more susceptible to bugs. So welcome in sinus infections. Welcome in upper respiratory infections if you're going to go out and eat a sugar, dairy-based dessert 2 or 3 times a week. And I know people that still consume excessive amounts of ice cream bowls every night. Whew, sorry, you can't keep eating like that and then get mad and rush to the doctor for antibiotics Antibiotics are like an atomic bomb in your gut. It blows up the gut and wreaks havoc on the whole system. Other medications over the counters to suppress the inconvenience of your poor choices. Oof, I didn't mean to say poor choices. Please don't take offense. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm trying to educate you. And I get it. We all are tempted, right? I love Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. He says the number one trick the devil plays on all mankind is gluttony. What does Professor James in the Bible, my favorite book, talk about? Control the tongue, not just in what you say. Andrew Womack, don't get hung by your tongue, not in just what you say. Mark Hankins, the confession of our faith, not in just in what you say, but also what you eat and allow across. Don't get hung by your tongue, because going and coming, you can get yourself in trouble, 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 trouble. I'm a big fan of healthy, wonderful, positive confessions and maintaining a attitude of gratitude, recognizing where my help comes from the abundance of Christ Jesus, the Lord, the God of wonders, who owns cattle on 1,000 hills, and he's got my back. But I know if I have that attitude, but then I go and eat cereal for breakfast and pasta for lunch and dessert for dinner. Come on. I mean, God gave you a brain. He gave me a brain and expects us to use it. So dehydration, I read this book, the body's many cries for water. My mom showed me this book when we were in Arkansas that the massage therapist told her about. You're not sick, it says. That's the name of the book. You're thirsty. Yeah, you're thirsty. And you need that solvent to detoxify your body in a world full of toxic exposures, okay? So your skin's health depends on your daily choice, inside and out. Lifestyle and nutrition support everything. All life starts and stops at the cellular level. Nutrition drives it all, guys. If you grab hold of that message, if you understand, you will go right now. You will stop listening and go straight to drchapawellness.com, and you will get your Restoration Vitality program. Please, I'm telling you, this is 20 years of my life's work in this arena to support digestion, to rebuild the gut microbiome, to support enzymatic activity by giving you real food, detoxing those pathways, and open up the channels so that you stay healthy, hydrated, and more. That you have energy, vitality. You have a fuse to handle and manage stressors that you're exposed to day in and day out. This couldn't be one of my more favorite messages to tell you. You can't heal what you keep inflaming, so make better choices. It's your life, your health, your choice. Nourish the body instead of attacking it with poor quality food. Lifestyle modifications have to come into play if you want to be a healthy human in the 21st century. So your skin depends on it. Your mind depends on it. Go get your 21-day detox. It supports your liver, your colon, your lymphatics, your blood, your brain, everything. It reduces overall full body inflammation. The 21-day detox in a box by Dr. Aaron Chapa at drchapawellness.com. It restores the microbiome. It promotes clear, radiant skin and more. But tonight we're talking about skin health. And this is one of my full, passions, is to help and see people successfully detox. We have a guide, we have a plan, nutritional support, step-by-step daily instructions. Guys, it's true. Skin results. You want good radiant skin, stop eating sugar, junk food, and poison yourself with topical creams. You can heal the inside first and see the results manifest on the outside. And people go, woo, girl, you look good. Or, man, boy, you macho. You awesome looking. You strong in the Lord and the power of his might. So, guys, dial in. Stay tapped in to your life, your health, your choice. Make the right call. Make the right decision. It always going to be starting at the cellular level. Nutrition driving it all. And I want to encourage you to eat the right nutrition. Real food. Preferably food that has a mother or a father. Food that swims in the ocean or in a lake or flies in the sky. That crawls around, runs around on the ground. There's all kinds of different ways to find these types of foods, but these are the categories that more often than not will leave you in a state of benefit, not inflammation, where many of you are. And if you're watching, odds are you know somebody or yourself dealing with some sort of skin ail. Healing skin means healing your digestion. Detoxification has to be a part of your 21st century healthcare plan. A clear gut leads to calm, glowing skin. My goodness, that tells me I might start a detox tomorrow. That'd be number 51. I still got time. I could possibly pull it off this year. So you ready to heal your skin from the inside out? Let's start your reset program together, because when the gut heals, the whole body follows. I know that no matter what you're dealing with, it may not be skin, it may not be psoriasis, it may not be eczema, it may not be, some sort of scleroderma or weird thing going on in the skin tissue. But guess what? If you have symptom patterns of any kind, understand that detoxification is key. And I like this concept of skin because I see so many people doing vanity shots, trying to look younger, more vibrant than ever. And the reality is if they just took care of their insides, they would age gracefully. And I know it's no fun to walk past the alcohol. It's no fun to walk past the dessert. It's no fun, right? The reality is the Bible says in Romans 12:1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living sacrifice. Living sacrifice. Living sacrifice. We could probably camp on that word quite a bit. Living sacrifice. So if you want to live a living sacrifice life, you're going to thrive in a world that is not designed for you or me. Remember, we are ambassadors. We are not of this world. So it goes on to say in Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I come to you yet again to encourage you to detox. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. So let's restore your body from the inside out, and we'll watch you glow in your skin. I love you guys. I'm so excited that y'all are sharing my message and commenting and asking questions. Follow me on all my social platforms. Be a part of my world. Get this message to other friends, family, and loved ones. It's such the ultimate compliment when you're willing to take data that has changed your life or encouraged you or shown you something, a new insight of nuggets of how to live better, be better, stay better. Dr. Chapa Wellness wants to be your number one wellness resource, your number one advocate, your top resource for all nutritional understanding and physiology and helping you live your best, be your best, and stay your best day in and day out. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. God bless you. And remember, Dr. Chapa loves you. Yeehaw, baby. Okay, here we go.